All right, we'll move on to item 10D, which is adopt a resolution authorizing the award of contracts for purchase of a 2010 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor from Hoblit Fleet Group in the amount of $24,948. A 2010 Westward Industry Go4 Model Interceptor 3 from Municipal Maintenance Equipment in the amount of $31,377, and a propelled thermoplastic applicator and trailer from Dispensing Technology Corporation in the amount of $84,415. Staff report, please.
Honorable Mayor and City Council members, thank you for your time. When I'm finished, it's my understanding the City Manager will also address the subject. I'm here tonight to recommend the purchase of 3 pieces of equipment. The first is a patrol vehicle for our police department. The department maintains a fleet of 14 patrol vehicles and typically replaces 2 to 3 a year. Because of the unique demands placed on police patrol vehicles, they require an aggressive replacement schedule and are removed from service when they attain a mileage between 80 and 90,000. We currently do not have any vehicles in reserve and anticipate the replacement of one before the end of this fiscal year. The next piece of equipment is a parking enforcement vehicle. The police department has 2 parking enforcement vehicles that are used for parking and street cleaning enforcement. The existing vehicle is a 2000 Go4 that was originally scheduled to be replaced in June of 2006. Daily stop and go low-speed driving has taken its toll, and at this time the vehicle needs a replacement engine as well as steering and suspension work. After completing this repair, we believe the vehicle will still not be reliable for daily use, and that, along with increased maintenance cost, is the reason we are recommending this replacement. The final piece of equipment is a thermoplastic pre-melter trailer and operator-propelled thermoplastic applicator. This will replace the paint truck that we currently use. At this time, staff paints street markings such as crosswalks, limit lines, and legends. These markings should be repainted every other year, but the last few years, less time has been allotted for painting, and the time has been extended. At the time of the painting, part of the road must be closed to traffic so the paint can dry. The paint can generally be tracked over in about 2 hours. Therefore, the road is left half open for 2 hours before the staff returns and reopens the road, and the other half of the street is ready to be painted. During the time the road is closed, a staff person must remain on site for public safety. With thermoplastic, staff will apply markings to the whole intersection, and by the time the equipment is back on the trailer, the road is reopened to traffic. The unit will make staff more efficient and free up time for other needs. It applies in about half the time of paint. Knowing the challenges of the budget and the current financial concerns, the department revisited this purchase with another cost-benefit review that confirmed the overall cost savings and believes this is the most cost-effective way to address our street marking needs. There is $65,000 approved in the 09-10 Street Division budget from a special dedicated transportation fund for this purchase, and the remaining balance will be paid out of the $38,000 available in the equipment reserve for the replacement of the 1993 Chevrolet paint truck that will no longer be needed. The parking enforcement vehicle is fully funded in the equipment reserve, and the police patrol vehicle was funded in the current fiscal budget. As with all new equipment we recommend, staff reviewed opportunities to reduce our impact on the environment. Nothing more environmentally suitable was found for a patrol vehicle, and although the maker of the parking enforcement vehicle is planning on a hybrid vehicle in the future, there's nothing available at this time. Switching to thermoplastic, however, will eliminate 110 gallons of hazardous waste that we now generate every year. In addition to that, we would reduce the fleet by 1 vehicle and reduce the number of miles driven for street marking by 50%. I appreciate your time and can take any questions.
Any questions? City Manager?
I just wanted to comment and reinforce some statements that Mr. Lind made in his presentation, specifically having to do with the cost of the vehicles. and the need to replace them given our current budget and fiscal situation. As indicated, the paint truck replacement vehicle is substantially funded by restricted dedicated funds. While those funds could be used for another purpose, it is increasingly difficult for the city to meet its maintenance of effort requirements, which prompt us in part, in addition to the benefits that this piece of equipment, as Mr. Lind clearly identified, prompt us to recommend this to you as a viable and important purchase. I would just simply identify for the City Council and public's benefit that we have not ignored the city's budget challenges, but in fact have scrutinized these recommendations very carefully, both at the department's level as well as at my level, before bringing this recommendation forward to you. And I would say that at this point, if the City Council intends that we will continue the services that these vehicles support, then I would recommend that these are necessary purchases. Thank you.
Any questions of the city manager or public works staff? Any action?
Through the chair, actually, I have
Yes.
a couple of
Councilmember
questions.
Salazar.
Thank you. I was actually pleased to hear that the police vehicle is going to be a flex fuel vehicle. And although I don't think we have provisions for providing ethanol for the police fleet, it is a step in the right direction, and it gives us at least that option in the future if we start migrating our fleet to that in that direction. And I was wondering if maybe at some time in the future we could get a report on the percentage of city vehicles that are that have some provision like this to be either biodiesel, flex fuel, or hybrid. I know in the case of the police vehicles, we are kind of limited in what's available, but I know that's at least one step in the right direction. The other question I was going to ask is just in terms of the thermoplastic applicator. If I thought I read somewhere in the notes that that was going to be partially funded by a grant, or is it just existing reserve funds that are funding that?
Councilmember Salazar, will be used for how it's included in our budget for this year is funded with Proposition 42, which is a special transportation dedicated fund.
Okay. And are those funds expiring, or
no, those funds can be built as balance from one year to another.
Thank you.
Through the chair?
Yes.
I just have a question. On the thermoplastic applicator, does it only do straight lines, or can we do stop signs with them, or other things besides straight lines?
Yes, we'll do the markings on the street, the letters, the stop that's in there. Use the same as we do with painting. You use a template and then apply the material over the template, which will leave it down. So it will all be, everything on the pavement will be thermoplastic.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Action?
I do appreciate staff's comments, and I know I had asked several questions earlier in light of our budget and our situation. I appreciate the responses, and I do see that there was a concerted effort made for extending the life of the current vehicles, and obviously we need to have one in reserve in the police situation, et cetera. So I do appreciate the additional feedback that I received. That makes me comfortable enough to introduce the resolution authorizing the award of the contracts.
Vice Mayor Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.